Imagine walking into a room and instead of hearing, "The chair is to your left," someone says, "The chair is southwest of the table." It might sound odd, but for some cultures this is completely normal. They don't use left or right. Instead, their languages rely on cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. It's like they have a built-in GPS guiding them at all times. What's fascinating is that speakers of these languages almost never get lost. They are always aware of where they are in relation to the world around them, without needing apps, maps, or landmarks. Their entire sense of space revolves around fixed directions. In this video, we'll explore why these languages evolved this way, the cognitive advantages they offer, and a surprising fact about how speakers of these languages even perceive time differently than the rest of us. So, why did some languages develop without left and right? The answer lies in the environment and culture. Take the Gugu Yimithirr people of Australia, for example. They live in the wide-open Australian outback, where the landscape is marked by permanent features such as rivers and mountains. In such an environment, left and right would be unreliable. Left can change depending on where you are, but north is always north. Their language reflects this constant, unchanging relationship with the world around them. The Tzeltal Maya of Mexico also use cardinal directions in their language. Their communities are in mountainous regions, and they navigate based on the natural slopes and features of the landscape. For them, it's much more practical to rely on permanent landmarks rather than the shifting perspectives of left and right. But there's something even more surprising. Research shows that these languages don't just affect how people navigate, they influence how they perceive time. In most Western languages, time is often conceptualized as a line moving from left to right. However, for speakers of cardinal direction languages, time is often understood as flowing from east to west, mirroring the movement of the sun. Their mental timeline isn't just a straight line, it's deeply tied to the physical world around them. These languages don't just shape how people give directions, they fundamentally change how they think. Imagine being constantly aware of where north, south, east, and west are, no matter where you are or what you're doing. For people who speak these languages, this isn't just a skill, it's second nature. Their brains are wired to always be spatially aware, attuned to the world around them. Take the Cook Thayore people of Namibia, for example. Their sense of direction is so finely tuned that they can tell you where north is, even if they're blindfolded and spun around. Most of us would be completely disoriented, but for them, it's effortless. Their sense of direction isn't just about navigation. It's part of how they experience the world. This constant awareness of cardinal directions extends to everything they do. For instance, they might say, "The book is to the west of the table," instead of, "The book is to your left." By using cardinal directions, they're reinforcing their connection to the environment in everyday conversations. On the other hand, languages like English, which rely on left and right, encourage a more individualistic worldview. These directions are relative. They change depending on where you're standing. It's a more egocentric way of navigating the world, focused on your orientation rather than the fixed landscape. Speakers of cardinal direction languages, however, see themselves as part of a larger, more stable world that exists independently of their personal perspective. So, why do some languages avoid using left and right? It's more than just a linguistic quirk. It's a reflection of how language, culture, and environment shape our perception of the world. These cardinal direction languages keep their speakers constantly in tune with their surroundings, reinforcing a deep connection to the land and sky. For those of us who rely on left and right, the world is always shifting based on where we stand. But for speakers of cardinal direction languages, the world is fixed and constant, and their language serves as a daily reminder of their connection to the earth. In our rush for convenience and technology, perhaps we've lost a deeper awareness of our place in the world.